Marcus Sterling sat in his office on Christmas Eve, the city lights twinkling below his high-rise window. At 42, he built Sterling Enterprises into a billion-dollar empire. But tonight, like every Christmas for the past decade, he was alone. No family, no children, no one waiting for him to come home. His assistant had left hours ago, but before leaving, she'd placed a stack of letters on his desk with a note. These are from the Adopt a Letter program kids whose Santa letters won't otherwise get answered. Thought you might want to help a few. Merry Christmas, Mr. Sterling. Marcus picked up the first letter, expecting the usual requests for toys or electronics. Instead, he found himself reading words that made his breath catch. Dear Santa, please send me a dad. A nice one who won't yell at mommy or make her cry. One who will play with me and read me stories. Mommy works really hard, but she's very tired and sad. She says dads are hard to find, but you're magic, so maybe you can find one. I've been very good this year. I don't ask for toys anymore because I know mommy can't afford them, but a dad isn't a toy, so maybe it's different. Thank you, Santa. Love. Age 5. Below the letter was a crayon drawing of 3 stick figures holding hands. A tall figure labeled Dad, a medium one labeled Mommy, and a small one labeled Me, Marcus. Read the letter 3 times. Feeling something crack open in his chest. The return address was listed an apartment building in a less affluent part of the city. He shouldn't get involved. He should just buy some gifts and have them delivered anonymously like he did with the other letters. But something about Emma's words, Mommy works really hard, but she's very tired and sad, wouldn't leave him alone. The next morning, Christmas Day, Marcus found himself driving to the address on the letter. He carried a bag of carefully selected gifts, a doll, books, art supplies, telling himself he was just delivering Santa presents. The apartment building was old but maintained. He knocked on apartment 3C, his heart pounding for reasons he didn't understand. A young woman opened the door, maybe in her late 20s, with tired eyes and blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail. Behind her, a little girl with curly brown hair peeked out curiously. Can I help you? The woman asked. I'm Marcus Sterling. This is going to sound strange, but I received your daughter's letter to Santa through a program that delivers letters that otherwise wouldn't get answered. I wanted to bring her some gifts. The woman's face went pale. Emma, what did you do? I wrote to Santa, Emma said defensively. He's magic. He can find dads. The woman who introduced herself as Rachel Mitchell looked mortified. I'm so sorry. She's been fixated on this idea that Santa can bring her a father. I didn't know she actually sent a letter. You didn't have to come here, I wanted to. Can I come in? Just for a moment? Rachel hesitated, then stepped aside. The apartment was small but clean, decorated with handmade Christmas decorations. A tiny tree stood in the corner, clearly artificial and old, decorated with paper ornaments Emma had made. Emma, this man brought you some presents from Santa, Rachel said. Emma's eyes went wide as Marcus handed her the bag. She pulled out the doll first, hugging it tight. She's perfect. Thank you, Santa helper. You're welcome. Emma, can I ask you something? Why did you ask Santa for a dad? Emma looked at her mother, then back at Marcus. Because mommy is sad. Her old boyfriend was mean and yelled a lot. He left and mommy said good riddance. But now she works all the time and she's tired. And sometimes she cries when she thinks I'm asleep. I thought if Santa sent a nice dad, mommy wouldn't be sad anymore. Rachel was crying now. Emma, sweetheart, that's not how it works. Your daughter has a kind heart, Marcus said. She wants you to be happy. Over coffee, Rachel insisting despite her obvious embarrassment. Marcus learned their story. Rachel had been in an abusive relationship, finally leaving when Emma was 2. She'd been working 2 jobs to make ends meet, barely surviving, raising Emma alone with no family support. I'm sorry you got dragged into this, Rachel said. Emma doesn't understand that dads aren't something Santa can deliver. Maybe not, but maybe I can help in other ways. Marcus pulled out his business card. I run a large company. We're always looking for good people. What's your work background? I'm a waitress and I clean offices at night. I have some college, but never finished. What were you studying? Business administration. I had 1 year left when I got pregnant and had to drop out. I have a tuition reimbursement program, and I need an executive assistant. It's not glamorous, but it pays well and has benefits. Would you be interested? Rachel stared at him. Why are you doing this? Because your daughter wrote a letter asking for a dad. And that letter ended up on my desk on Christmas Eve, when I was sitting alone in my office, wondering why I'd spent my life building a company, but never a family. Maybe I can't be what Emma asked Santa for, but I can help. Over the following months, Rachel worked for Marcus's company and finished her degree. Marcus found reasons to stop by her desk, to check on Emma, to be part of their lives. He attended Emma's kindergarten play, helped Rachel study for exams, taught Emma about business in simple terms that made her laugh. Why do you spend so much time with us? Rachel asked 6 months after that Christmas visit. Because Emma's letter wasn't wrong. She asked for a dad who would play with her and read her stories, who wouldn't yell at you or make you cry. I want to be that person. Not out of obligation, but because somewhere between that first letter and now, I fell in love with both of you. Marcus, you're a billionaire. I'm a single mom who dropped out of college. You're a woman who escaped abuse, raised a daughter alone, worked 2 jobs while going to school, and taught that daughter to be kind and hopeful even in hard circumstances. Rachel, you're extraordinary. A year after Emma's letter had landed on his desk, Marcus proposed with Emma's help and approval. Rachel, your daughter asked Santa for a dad. Her letter found me on the loneliest night of my life. Emma wanted someone who would make you happy, who would play with her and read her stories. Let me be that person. Officially, forever. Will you marry me? At their wedding, Emma served as flower girl and gave a toast. I wrote to Santa and asked for a dad. A nice one who wouldn't yell at mommy. And Santa sent Mr. Marcus. He says he's not really from Santa, but I think he is. Because he's exactly what I asked for. So you should always write to Santa, because even if Santa doesn't send it, maybe someone will find your letter and give you what you need anyway. Years later, Marcus kept Emma's original letter framed in his office, a reminder that sometimes the most important business that crosses your desk isn't a contract or a deal, but a child's crayon drawing and a plea for a family. Sometimes letters to Santa reach the right person. Sometimes a child's wish leads a billionaire home. Sometimes what you ask for and what you need arrive in the same package. And sometimes, the loneliest night becomes the beginning of the fullest life. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Subscribe for more stories about wishes granted and families formed through hope. Leave a comment about when a child's wish changed everything. Your stories inspire us all.